Welcome back to Criminally Human, where behind every headline is a story, a person and a tragedy that didn't have to happen. Today we unravel the chilling case of the Zizians, a predominantly transgender and non-binary shadowy group whose bizarre beliefs and violent acts have rocked the nation in early 2025, though evidence now shows their violent acts and rituals date back to 2022. This is a story of radical ideology, ritualistic violence, and a trail of blood across multiple states. Stay with me as we piece together the gruesome puzzle. This part of the Zizians murders began in January 2025 near the Canadian border, Washington state. David Mayland, a U.S. Border Patrol agent known for his dedication and community ties, was found brutally murdered in a remote wooded area. His body showed signs of a violent struggle, and investigators discovered strange ritualistic symbols carved into nearby trees, symbols that local Native American elders recognized as eerily similar to ancient protection glyphs, but twisted. The scene was grim. Mayland lay face down in a clearing, surrounded by broken branches and scattered animal bones arranged in a deliberate pattern. His uniform was torn, and his service weapon was missing. A burnt circle of ash and feathers lay close by, evidence of some ceremonial act. The area smelled of burnt sage and something metallic. Neighbors who lived miles away described hearing distant chanting late at night, but no one dared to approach. Just weeks later, in a quiet suburb of Oakland, California, Curtis Lind, a local landlord known for his community activism, was found dead in his home under suspicious circumstances. Police were called by a tenant after hearing loud noises and screams. When officers arrived, the scene was harrowing. Lind's body lay near the fireplace, his hands bound with braided hemp rope. The room was dimly lit by dozens of black candles arranged in a pentagram on the hardwood floor. Symbols similar to those found near Mayland's death were painted on the walls with what appeared to be red paint, but forensic tests later confirmed traces of dried blood. On the dining table lay a crudely made altar featuring animal skulls, feathers, and a journal with cryptic writings that mentioned awakening the inner duality and balancing the hemispheres. In March, the wealthy couple Richard and Rita Zajko were found dead in their mansion in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Neighbors reported a strange smell days before the bodies were discovered, described as a mix of incense and decay. Authorities entered the home after a caretaker found the front door ajar. The interior looked like a crime scene out of a nightmare. The couple was found in the basement, surrounded by ritualistic paraphernalia. Salt circles, candles, dried herbs, and a complex arrangement of stones carved with symbols similar to those linked to the Zizians. The couple's bodies bore multiple stab wounds, and their throats had been slit. Scrawled on the basement walls were symbols and phrases such as, "The mind's hemispheres must unite." A torn fragment of cloth with a unique emblem, a stylized Z, was discovered near the bodies. Two others, Ophelia Bockholt and Emma Borhanian, linked to the group, were also found dead. Both had been involved in violent altercations with Mayland and Lind. Authorities believe these deaths may have been retaliatory or related to internal power struggles within the group. The Zizians' belief system is complex and disturbing. Rooted in anarchism and veganism, they emphasize brain hemispheres having distinct genders and conflicting desires, a philosophy that, taken to extremes, justifies violent purges to balance these forces. Though loosely organized, the group displays cult-like loyalty and secrecy. Federal and local law enforcement agencies have launched multi-state investigations. The FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit is involved, attempting to profile the group and predict future targets. The Zizians emerged from obscure corners of activist circles, combining radical anarchism and strict veganism with a dark spiritual ideology centered on balancing the hemispheres of the brain, which they believed were in constant conflict. Their doctrine holds that each brain hemisphere embodies opposing genders and desires, and only through violent ritual sacrifice can this cosmic balance be restored. This belief system, while sounding almost metaphysical, has fueled a dangerous fanaticism. Former acquaintances describe the group as secretive, fiercely loyal to their cause, and increasingly isolated from mainstream society. Many members cut ties with families and old friends, drawn deeper into an echo chamber of ritual and extremism. Law enforcement agencies faced a steep learning curve in understanding and infiltrating the Zizians. Early police reports underestimated the group's organization, dismissing them as disconnected radicals. But as the ritualistic killings spread from Washington to California and Pennsylvania, it became clear the Zizians operated with chilling coordination. The FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit stepped in to construct psychological profiles, tracking patterns and symbols that linked the murders and might hint at future targets. Undercover operations and digital surveillance have uncovered encrypted chat groups where members discuss upcoming rituals and purges. However, the group's shadowy nature and geographic dispersion pose serious challenges for law enforcement. Families of the victims live with unspeakable grief, compounded by the disturbing nature of the crimes. Many recount feeling helpless as their loved ones were consumed by an ideology so foreign and violent that it defies comprehension. Community vigils have taken place in each affected city, offering solidarity but also highlighting the deep scars left behind. Some survivors of near encounters with the Zizians describe lasting trauma, nightmares, anxiety, and a pervasive fear that the group's ideology will inspire further violence. Mental health professionals involved stress the importance of support services in helping communities heal from such bizarre and brutal acts. The psychological aftermath of these crimes cannot be overstated. The intertwining of ideology, ritual, and violence leaves victims' families struggling not only with loss but with fear of the unknown, the motives, the methods, and the potential for more. This case challenges law enforcement and society to grapple with a new form of extremism that blends belief with bloodshed, demanding new strategies for prevention and intervention. While investigations continue, authorities warn that the Zizians remain active and possibly recruiting. Public awareness campaigns have been launched in affected areas, urging anyone with information about the group or suspicious activities to come forward. The challenge lies in peeling back layers of secrecy while protecting innocent communities from fear and misinformation. As this chilling saga unfolds, Criminally Human will keep you updated with verified facts and deep analysis. The Zizians case reminds us that beneath headlines are complex human stories of belief, betrayal, and brutal consequences. Please like and subscribe, but most of all, stay human.